Hi, I'm Matto Bolden. Oh, no, I'm in Mo Farah. You're watching Inside Athletics. Stay tuned.
Mo, welcome. Thanks for joining me.
You're welcome, thank you.
With all that you've experienced since your wins in London last year, what's the moment that stands out to you where you just shook your head and went, not in a million years could I picture myself doing this?
It doesn't quite sink in at the time you win. Just looking back, watching videos of you and hearing Steve Cram's commentating.
Yes, a brilliant call.
Yeah, it was just, and then you have to ask yourself, am I really Olympic champion, double Olympic champion?
Yes.
You're like, and it's something that can never be taken away from you.
Now tell me about your celebration, the Mobot. I mean, obviously Usain Bolt has his to the world, but that Mobot, in a lot of ways, maybe caught on quicker because Usain has been doing that for years and years and years. And yet yours sort of came out of nowhere and then the entire country obviously was doing it. Tell us a little bit about the genesis of it.
Oh, it was amazing. I went on this TV show.
Yes.
It was called, it was on Sky One.
Mm-hmm.
It was Claire Baldwin, Jamie Redknapp, who's a ex-soccer player. We're talking to the guys and they were like, Mo, when you do well at the Olympics or win a medal, we've got to come up with a celebration for you.
Yes.
And then that's how the celebration came up. And they were like, Claire Baldwin and the rest of us talking. And it all started with YMCA. Remember that?
Of course.
Song? So he said, what about if you just do M-O? So we do M.
The M.
And then O, so Mo. And I was like, yeah. And they were like, I promised them I would do it if I won.
Right.
And then when I won, I had to do it. But then Usain Bolt brought it on the map, so he's broken a world record, 4x1, and he does the Mobot.
That's my favorite picture of the entire game.
Exactly.
You doing his pose and he doing yours.
Yeah, it was amazing.
You and Bernard Lagat come to mind when I think of great victory laps and great celebrations with your kids. When you win a race, especially a major race, and obviously the Olympic Games or the World Championships, tell me what's the reason that you want to involve your kids?
It's important that you see what Daddy did and the kids, for long distance runner, you're away from your family for 6 weeks, 2 months. A lot of the time, so I'm probably away more than half a year at time. And, it's a lonely event, you're doing 100 miles week in, week out. So it's important that, when you enjoy that, they enjoy it too. And for me, that was probably the best thing, seeing your family on the track. When you finish the race and they're right down the side of the track and you're like, wow.
Now, I want you to consider this question very carefully. You've been world champion, you've been twice Olympic champion. Do you think those are more significant and important than you being the only human to have ever defeated the cube?
It's a trick question.
Yeah, it kind of is.
It's a trick question, for sure.
It kind of is.
It feels great.
Because other people have won world and Olympic titles, obviously.
I'm the first person
and the only person.
Only person. And secondly, that money is for the charity Mo Farah Foundation. So I know that money has changed people's lives. So in my heart, I feel good and I feel proud.
So tell me a little bit about your foundation. I mean, obviously you're born in Somalia, moved here. Although I was curious in getting ready for this interview to learn that your father was actually born here.
I was born in Somalia. I came to Britain when I was age of 8, grew up here, started a new life. And I went back to Somalia in 2011 after World Championship, took holiday because my 7-year-old and my wife, we went back there to just see how Africa is different to Europe and the rest of the world.
So you hadn't been back since you moved here?
I went by myself, but I went back with my family. So my aim was to take my family and, let them see. Yeah. And we saw, and what really touched me is I went to the local orphanage in Somaliland, Hargeisa, where, you went in there and you saw loads of kids between sort of 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 7-year-old, all mixed around. They were like in a small room. Right. And, they had the cots for the babies, and then they had the other children as well, sharing in one room. And they would rotate the cot, it could be 2 weeks old and something. And as a parent, it touches you. And something really touched me. And we came back, and me and my wife, and we decided to set up Mo Farah Foundation. And that's one of the reasons we set up. And be able to, help them kids. It's important that you help them and put them in the right direction. And for them, just give them clean water, give them food, give them sort of what they need. And our charity is growing fast after my success in after Olympics.
Of course, yes.
So we started off in Africa, and now we're working in Britain as well, you know, be able to spot kids and like having like a 10K race where in the park. And so it is growing fast, but I want to be able to make a difference for the people, change people's lives.
With all the success that you've had, are there certain guys, say on the circuit, that used to be friends with you and now they look at you as, okay, I can't be his friend anymore because now he is the man to beat. Now I sort of have to make him the enemy.
It's different in long distance, you know, in sprint. Yeah, you know, it's completely different.
So there's no enemies in long distance running?
There's no enemies. You know, I'm sure everybody's like thinking what you're thinking right now.
Right.
But at the same time, they talk to you, they say, how you doing, how's the family? You have a normal conversation. But I know back in their mind, they're definitely thinking, yeah, I've got to beat this guy.
Right. Your life has no doubt changed. There's post boxes with your image on it. You cannot go anywhere in this country without being recognized. Now, I spoke to Steve Hooker and Greg Rutherford, and they said, they're training in Arizona, and they said, you know what? Love my country, but for me to continue being great, I have to train away from that. Now, you train in Portland, Oregon. Is it for the same reasons?
For sure, that's the same reason. As an athlete, you know, what you forget is like, if you wasn't so good, then, you know, you would never be in that situation. So it's important that you do what you do every day and what makes you good. And for me in England, if I was in England, there was no way I can get training done. It'd be media, all kind of stuff. And, you know, you just want to be, as an athlete, go out there, train, do what you can, and then at the same time, you know, have a normal life where, you know, I have a family and go out for your wife, go for coffee, go for shopping. Just do the normal things we do every day.
I had a conversation last weekend with Mary Kane, who, of course, you guys share a coach, Alberto Salazar. And at 17 years old, she looked at some film and she started to dissect her left arm. And I thought to myself, wow, she is so far ahead of where you would expect a 17-year-old athlete to be. Is it something about training under Alberto that automatically puts you sort of in his mind where your attention to detail goes way up?
Yeah, for sure. And for me, the biggest difference has been improving 1 or 2%. And that's been the difference of winning a gold and coming 6th in the world. It's great what Mary's doing at that age, because for me, that age, I never saw anything. I was just running, going out with my friends. And, you know, Mary's a great athlete and she's got great potential. And if she can pick up, as you said, and work on that thing, then it makes it, you know, towards when she's sort of running 20s and stuff, you know, she's powerful and she's got everything. She ticked every box.
Yes. For a distance coach, he is obsessed with your sprint form. And it seems like when I see you guys, any of his athletes, he is very concerned about how you strike the ground and how you run when you have to sprint, when you have to kick. How much of a difference has that made in how you are able to perform in a championship meet?
It's definitely made a big difference. In terms of, if you look at all the championship, the race is won at the end with speed. Right. So it's important that you work on your speed and you work on your technique. And I remember sort of, I think it was like a year and a half ago, talking to you guys, and I think he was asking you advice, saying, how does this guy should sprint? You know, when you sort of get in the last phase, last 100 meters, 150, it's important that you sprint like a sprinter. And, you know, you save as much energy as you can. But if you sort of not sprinting, just all over the place, then you're wasting energy.
Now, on the subject of sprinting, you had a performance very recently that raised my eyebrows, even though I was 4,000 miles away from it. Albeit you went out at a very pedestrian pace. But at on the last lap of a 5K at the Euro Team Championships, you ran 50.89 for your last 400. And I went, wait a minute. I would be surprised to know you could run that fast out of the blocks. That is an extraordinary time after that many laps. Is that an indication of something yet to come in 2013, you think?
Yeah, for sure. As an athlete, you always have to work on your speed. You have to even, you know, compared to what I was last year, I have to be at another level because, you know, all the guys knows what you're capable of. So it's important that you push your body and you keep training. And for me, you know, I'm working hard in training, but it gave me massive confidence, you know, being able to run that fast last lap, even though it was a slow pace, because, you know, that championship was just getting as many points as you can for your country. So it's important that, you know, use your speed and get as many points for your country. But it gives you good indications of where I am, and it's definitely gave me a massive confidence.
Well, I can tell you, because I don't cover your events for NBC, I got a chance to watch, and along with David Rudisha, those were some of the most magical moments. So congratulations on all your success, and we certainly wish you the best moving forward.
Sure, no worries. Thank you.
Thanks for joining me.
Cheers.